I'm just going to give you a really super quick tutorial on how to set up OBS for the very first time. You're going to come to this window right here. You're going to see that you have a desktop audio and a mic aux. What you're going to do is you're actually going to get rid of this, and we're going to go into audio and we're going to set all of these to disabled. This just stops you from having multiple audio tracks and multiple stuff that you don't want to deal with. So when you press OK, everything's going to disappear. These scenes over here are going to be whatever you decide. You can add a scene, so we'll add a scene called gameplay. This is if you're going to record a video game. My usual thing to record video games is to add an application audio beta, and I just cancel out of that. I add a input capture, which is usually my boom mic, and I set that to whatever my boom mic is. For me, I've got a Shure V7. I go and I add a game capture. That's going to actually capture the full screen application or whatever game you're playing. And then sometimes you'll have to add a window capture or a display capture, depends. And sometimes you'll have to add an audio output capture. So the audio output capture is usually your desktop sound. Now if you want to separate out your desktop sound and your Discord sound, that's a little bit more difficult. That's why I prefer doing audio capture beta. It's just a lot easier. I set this to my headphones. So now if you look at OBS, we've currently got several, I just dragged it out just so you can see it. We've got several audio tracks. We've got the boom mic, which is obviously activating. We've got the application audio beta, which is your game sound, and your desktop sound, which is any other sound on your computer. Now, your next step, drag this back in, your next step is going to be to open the settings. And in these settings, you've got a couple of different things. You can hide OBS from the screen capture. That will make it so that if you're recording and you accidentally tab into your OBS, they can't see it. Most of these, you just keep the same, unless you want to change some of them. These, if you're streaming, you can set up your stream. We're not going to do that in this video. We're going to go to Output. Under Output, go to Advanced. Under Advanced, go to Recording. Under Recording, click these 3 audio tracks. I'm going to tell you why later. Figure out a recording path. Mine usually goes on to my YouTube content and then into gameplay. Now, this is important. The recording format, put it in NKV. There's a reason for this, and I'll show it later. On the stream encoder, you usually use NVIDIA NVEC. Sometimes this kind of has some issues, but for the most part, I usually use NVEC. Down here with the encoder settings, I usually set this to about 5,000. That's enough data that it's going to look good on YouTube, but not kill your PC. If you got a more powerful PC, feel free to set this up to like 9,000, even 10,000, if you really want to. All it really does is increase the file size and I guess the quality of the video. You'd have to look up what 4K would be. I'm not sure on that one. So, I've got it set to standard up here. I've got my drive, I've got MKV, 3 audio tracks, and everything else is the same. We hit apply on that one, but we stay in here, go to advanced. You're going to go down here where it says recording and automatically remux to MP4. If I go to my video settings, I'm in 60 FPS, and then when I import it into my software, which is DaVinci Resolve, it goes to 24. So, it's really up to you, whichever you decide to record at. You press OK. Now, nothing has really changed, except for the fact that when you go into any of these that have sound, so for example, this is a sound right here. These 2 are sounds, that's your mic, and that's your game capture. So if you go into any of these that require sound, and you click on the buttons to the right of the audio, you go to advanced audio, you're going to notice that if you make this bigger, right, you've got your audio here. We're going to uncheck this so that we see all active sources, just in case you've accidentally set one up and you didn't mean to. Now, go through and uncheck every single one of these checkboxes. You don't want any of these selected. Once you've done that, select all on track 1. So every single one of your sounds are going to be on track 1. That puts your mic and your game audio on the exact track, on the same track. Your application and your desktop sound are going to be on track 3. And your mic sound is going to be on track 2. That way when you import it into your software of choice, the first track is going to be a combined track. So you can go through and manipulate that how you want. Or when you send video to people, they don't have to change the track to listen to your voice and to your game audio at the same time. Second, you've got your mic on the second track. That way, you know your mic is always going to be on the second track, and then you've got your game audio and your desktop audio on the third track. In order to separate Discord from everything else, that's what I use this for. My desktop sound goes through Discord, so if I'm recording with my friends, it goes through Discord. If I am recording with without Discord, it goes to this. Now, if I'm recording with Discord, I will usually uncheck 3, check 4, and go back into settings, and I will go to my output, and I will add the output under recording. I'll add a track 4. If I'm recording Discord, that is. If I want to have the desktop sound. So it usually would look like this. It would have everything on track 1, and then Discord would be on track 4, my mic would be on track 2, and my game audio would be on track 3. That's usually how it is if I'm doing Discord. You can also set up a second audio capture beta for Discord. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of iffy. Like it says, it's in beta. So that's how you set up the audio tracks. Notice how my mic is only getting to about 30% here. You're going to go into filters, and you're going to add a gain. We're going to just call this gain. We're going to move it to the side here just so we can see the mic. And we're going to bump it up, and we're going to keep talking, blah, 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 until it peaks into that red zone. And you're going to want your mic wherever you normally have your mic, so that if it peaks into that red zone, you know that it's too loud. So right now, I've got my mic where I currently use my mic from, and it's in that red zone. Now, in order to keep it from going into that red, this basically allows it to go all the way up to just until it peaks. You don't want it to peak, so you're going to add a limiter. This limiter will keep it just below the red. So you're going to pull the limiter down just a bit until you can actually lean into your mic and it does not peak that red zone. Perfect. Your game audio is always going to be about 25% less than your audio for your mic. So you want it about right here or right here. No louder than that, because otherwise it's going to overshadow your mic and you're going to have to do a lot of correcting in your soft. Okay, so in the mic properties, so in these properties, for each of these, it shows you like the window, whatever window you want, and then whatever priority you have. Now, if you're doing display capture, you're going to see something a little bit different here. You're going to see capture method. Always do Windows 10 1903 and up. Otherwise, sometimes there's going to be issues where the desktop doesn't actually get captured, and you're going to be wondering, well, why isn't my desktop capturing? That's probably why it's not capturing. When you record in OBS and you have MKV as your main file, you'll get an MKV file as well as an MP4. So if you notice the size here, this is 416 versus 415. This is the MKV, which was originally recorded for the recording that I was making, and then once it remuxed, which is basically once you stop recording, it will automatically remux into an MP4. Once you've got this MP4, feel free to delete this MKV, because all you're going to be doing is deleting the original file, which is perfectly fine. You can delete the MKV. Once you have the MP4, you no longer need the MKV, so you can clean them up. I usually clean them up by taking, after every single one of my recording sessions, I go in here and I grab all of the MKV files, as you're seeing now, and I just delete them. And then you've only got your MP4s left. That one obviously is not working because it's currently being recorded. So, that's basically how you do that. So, hopefully this video has been a little bit helpful. This is a new channel. I'm not really asking for subscribers or anything. This was mostly just done for a friend of mine, but if you'd like to subscribe, I'll be doing different tutorials just randomly to help people out. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!